Let's talk about data validation. Data validation is when you are comparing data against a set of rules or values, or you are allowing yourself to choose certain parameters about the data. So there's a couple of different things that we can use data validation for. So first of all, data validation is found under the data option, and then you will see data validation. Okay, so let's talk about a number validation. So I'm going to highlight all of the data that I have here, and I'm even going to highlight a column for Unit 2 test that I don't have any data in yet. I'm going to go up to Data and down to Data Validation, and we've got some options when we do that. So we're going to add a rule. So this automatically defaults to a drop-down, but that's not what we want for a number validation. So we're going to go down and we're going to select is between. And we're going to say that the values in these cells have to be between 0 and 100. Anything else does not work, okay? And I'm going to hit done. Now, automatically, you will notice that I have a number over here that is above 100. And so it gives me a little warning. It gives me a little triangle here in the middle. And when I hover over that, it gives me a warning. It says this is an invalid number. It has to be between 0 and 100. And so I will automatically know that I need to go change that. And once I do, that goes away. Okay, and then if I'm putting in for a Unit 2 test, and as long as I put those numbers in that are between 0 and 100, everything is fine. Again, if I go over that, I'm going to get that message, and so I can go in and fix that. And then also, if I put in something that is not a number, if I put in letters or something else, it's going to give me that message as well, so that I know that I need to go in and fix this. This is really good if you are sharing a sheet with someone and there's multiple people putting in data. That way you know and they can get a message if they put something in incorrectly. Okay. Another option for data validation can be to choose things from a list or a range. So let's say I want to put the homeroom teacher in here of all of my students, and I just want this for column C. So I'm going to highlight column C, and I'm going to go to Data and Validation. And for column C, I'm going to remove this for column C, and I'm going to add a new rule. And this time, I'm going to do a drop down from a range. So we'll get to drop down in just a minute. I'm going to do drop down from a range. And so then it's going to ask me to select a data range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to a different sheet, and I'm going to list the names of the homeroom teachers. So I've got my homeroom teachers that I want. So I've got those names that I'm going to put in here. And I'm going to simply, here, select my range, highlight those, and say, OK. And so now it is popped in here, and it has the different names. Now, in addition to having those names, it defaults just to be the white background. But you could also change and customize the colors of each of those as well if you want it to be color-coded. So I'm going to hit Done, and I'm going to go back to my sheet 1. And now you will see that I have a little drop down, and I can choose, let me make this a little wider so you can see, I can choose the homeroom teacher from this drop down list from a range. Okay. In addition to that, let me edit this rule now. Instead of drop down from a range, I can actually do just drop down. When I do that, then you can just type in those values without having to add them to a separate sheet. And you can add as many of those as you would like. And again, you can say done. Now, when it does this, if you already have a range set up like I do, it's going to say, do you just want to apply it to just this instance, or do you want to do it to all of your drop downs? And it will automatically update all of your drop downs. So you can choose from just a list of items. Now, to get to that, I went to Data and Data Validation. There is actually a shortcut way to get to this as well. You can also just go to Insert and Drop Down, and it will open up the same criteria, and you can go through and select how you want your data validation. So this is a really nice when you want a list or you want to be able to validate data in some way.